So this morning I'm going to be harvesting scapes, or what they call scapes. This is off of my onion, and so you cut them off, and you probably ask, well, what do you do with that? Most people probably cut them off and throw them away. We're going to dry them, and then you can use them as any dried onion you would normally use. And then she'll put them in the dehydrator, dry them out, and then we can either powder them as onion or cut them up, or crumble them up and make a way to look like little chives. You could put it in your French onion dip or whatever. Put it on top of your baked potatoes and sour cream. Just whatever you'd like to use them, but there's no sense in throwing them away because they're good to eat and they're have an interesting flavor. And I'll be back here with some other little tidbits of things that you can harvest that you have maybe not thought of. Okay, so now the next little interesting thing will be, what do you do with that little bit of flour there? We know they're edible. We have an interesting way that we use those. And I'll be showing you that here in just a minute. So, I hope you can see that. Well, I brought it out here for a better picture, but that's probably too dark, huh? Anyhow, that is what we do with the flowers off of our chives, and that goes in oil, and then we use that on salads when we have vinegar and oil. Quite very pretty, very interesting looking. Quite an interesting use for all those little flower pieces off of there. Okay, we'll see if I can find a few more little tidbits of info for you. Be back in a bit. Okay, so now the next little tidbit information. M.I. Gardner did a show about a month ago or 2 months ago, and he showed plants that you could actually plant in late winter, early spring, that can tolerate a few freezes. So what I've done here is I did that with spinach here, and then this is where the basil was going to go after the spinach. So even though the spinach isn't ready, because growing in the colder weather, they're very slow to grow, this is a way that you can actually utilize your ground early in the spring and start your, like the spinach, radishes, lettuce, things that'll grow. You can go watch that on M.I. Gardner there. And then what I did is I went ahead and planted in my summer crop that's going in the same bed as a rotational crop. And then today I will be removing some of the spinach here that is competing with that, and here too. And the rest of it will continue to grow, and I will harvest it. You see I got some there, some there. I'll finish harvesting out the spinach as the basil is growing, and probably within the next 30 days the spinach will be out. Down here I had radishes, and they're already out, and I followed that with cauliflower. And then down here I've got the lettuce, and I did this with eggplant. That's what this is eggplant. And I got the lettuce that I had planted probably in March, and I will be thinning some of that out today to give my eggplants a little bit more room. And then all the way down here on the end of my lettuces I put in, this is that New Zealand spinach, and I'm new with that. I'm going to try that, and I put some in. Also put some seed in too. I wanted more of that, but I'll be removing some lettuces around that to make sure that those have, no competition, so they can start taking off for the summer. So there's another bit of tidbit information. You can start your consecutive growing before the first crop's out. You can go ahead and put the second crop in, and then maybe even just thin it out a little bit as it gets closer to being mature. So I'm going to have a bunch of little greens to put in my salad. Sounds pretty good. I'll be seeing you later.
Okay, Mike picked me about 4-gallon bucket of Swiss chard today, and I've already washed them. I put it in one sink and I washed them 3 times to make sure I had all the dirt and everything, and then I separated them, and this is the stems off of the Swiss chard, and then here it's all blanched. You blanch the chard for 2 minutes, and I blanched these in the boiling water. I steamed these actually. We have, oh, I'd say about 2 pints plus another pint of chard for 3 different meals. My first
Food
preservation of the year out of our garden.
Okay, so here is the dried onion scapes. You see out of, I don't know, quite a bit there that we harvested that you don't get a whole lot of dried, but we'll use them there for whatever you use dried onions for. And that's how we just did those in dehydrator. She cut them into smaller bits, as you can see, and dehydrated them. We dehydrated quite a bit of stuff. And that'll probably wrap up this video here on little tidbits of things you can harvest that you might not have given a whole lot of thought to it. And the harvesting that we're doing at this time, all of this, and for the shed wars. So we'll see you next time. Have a good day.